Hello folks, I am back with a comparison video, but first I want to thank all my subscribers who have subscribed to me and all of those who meet me and talk with me over at Classic Pistol in Southampton, PA. I greatly appreciate talking to all of you guys about firearms. One of the other things I want to do is also want to encourage you to go to Core Essentials for all your belt needs, gear, or anything of that nature. Check them out. You can get 10% off using my code Keenan10. And they have a lot of different gear there. So check them out. So let me get to the video right now at hand. I had a question. The question is from Stephen Ehrlich. And Stephen Ehrlich asked me to do a comparison video between the P229 Legion SAO and the P226 Legion SAO. What you see here is my Staccato P, and the Staccato P and other 2011s and double stacks such as the Prodigy are getting a lot of talking as of late. So these are kind of like the new go-to firearms, and they're double stacked, but they also are hammer fire firearms. So when you're looking at these particular firearms, people are so into them, but there are also other firearms that are out there that are single action only. A lot of people who have problems with 1911s, they don't like the beaver tail safety, and that's what the Staccato P has, and the Staccato C2. A lot of times people would put rubber banding on the back, or they would put some type of strap on the back, or not only that, they'll get it pinned. But here is a different alternative. I did a review on both of these firearms quite some time ago, but because Stephen Ehrlich asked for this video, I don't mind doing a repeat on these particular firearms. Let's start with the P229. Now, the P229 is the compact version of, let's say, the P226, but this is in single action only. And I consider both of these firearms pseudo, let's say, 2011, because I didn't own a 2011 at the time. So I'm a big 1911 fan anyway, so I wanted something that I could use cocked and locked, and I'm going to show clear on these right now. And they are clear. Now, as you see, there's no decocker on this like most 229s or 226s in the classic line. They have a cocked and locked feature. So starting with the 229, I'm going to give you some brief specs on it. The overall length here is going to be 7.1 inches. The width is going to be 1.7 inches. The height is going to be 5.5 inches. And the barrel length is going to be 3.9 inches with a weight of 31 ounces. All right, so you see that it has a great cocked and locked feature. You can look at it like a commander or ultra size or officer's model size firearm that can be cocked and locked. I'll go over the cocked and locked features in a little bit because I have a little more to say. Let's go over the 229. The 229, showing clear on that one, pulling the magazine out so you know it's safe. Again, cocked and locked feature, but let's go with the 226, single action only. It's going to be 8 inches in overall length. The width is going to be 1.5, so it's a little slimmer than the, let's say, the 229, just a hair slimmer. See, and what I've noticed about a lot of firearms, the more compact they get, the girth of the grip gets out there. So back to the 229, I just wanted to show you that. And what's interesting is the height. Let me pull this firearm back out here. Now the height, believe it or not, if you look at the bottom, is 5.5 inches. And I didn't notice this before, but I think because the 226 has this kind of really curved and beveledness where you can get a grip there. And this is what I'm reading from the stats from SIG SAO, the height is pretty much similar. I never noticed that before. This is going to hold somewhere in the neighborhood of rounds of I lost my notes on that, but I believe you can have anywhere from 15 to 20 round, because sometimes I use a 20 round mags in this one, or the 17 round mags, and this is a standard 15 round. But notice how they did that. Somehow they did their magic and put more rounds in the longer one, and I do believe it's because of the slimmer grip, so the magazine could be a little bit longer, so therefore the top of the magazine will come up a little bit higher in. Now on this one, whenever they do anything compact, they to get 15 rounds in, they change the girth a little bit somewhere inside doing their magic. That's how they'll do it. And to look at the two magazines, you'll see what I'm talking about here. See, the magazine's a little taller, and then the girth is right there. So it's taller and slimmer, and this is a little bit fatter and girthier. And like I said, this is from the SIG SAO site here. It does say the height is 5.5. Don't know how they do it. Maybe it's because the way it's angled a little different, but that's what the notes are from there. Difference in weight is this is 31 ounces and this is 33 ounces. Now, one of the other things about this, if you are getting, let's say, the Legion version, and this is what Stephen Ehrlich was talking about, he wanted to know a difference. Now, a guy with bigger hands would appreciate the 226 Legion size, because you can get a full hand here. One of the improvements, like I said, you had this curve here, so you can get a good grip at the bottom, not to mentioning the checkering right here, and this piece right here, which is an upgraded grip piece here, which I really like. It gives a better purchase than the previous let's say 226s. They have like a plastic, and usually when my hands get wet, it's gets a little slippery, but the checkering enables me to hold on. Notice that there is a big upper cut up in here, so where you can get your hand reaching right up under the trigger guard. The same goes for the 229, but it is not as pronounced, but it is there. You do have your checkering underneath on both firearms, and one of the other unique things is that when you put a magazine in, you are able to rack it and have the slide go forward, even with the safety on. The same thing with this one. You put your safety on, and that's if you want to be a little safe about it. Some people will load this and then they'll put the safety on after. But I think this is a good thing that they did with this, where you could just put the safety on and rack around in, and then top off the magazine. So it does make a lot of sense. Both have the day light X-ray sights. I think I got that right. And also, here is your slide release. Now, this is probably the only negative thing that I'm going to say about this firearm on both firearms, is because usually on the 226s and 229s, the standard models, it protrudes out a little more, so you're able to one hand manipulate that and bring that slide release down. A lot of the other complaint is, I see with the safety is down, some people are not able to reach that slide catch or slide release because the way the safety is designed. So that's where some people will have an issue. And I forgot to mention it is ambidextrous on both sides. So if you're a righty, you might have a problem. If you're a lefty, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about that slide release on there. But at the same time, the negative for the lefties is that you don't have a slide release. You're going to have to deal with our right-handed style manipulations. That is probably the biggest thing that would be a bone of contention for some people. Racking the slide. And so when I use these particular firearms, I basically only overhand rack. There's only one firearm that I use the slide release on, and that's on a 1911. And that's because I can grab and hit my thumb here, because on the 1911, I can't reach the slide release. It's also due to my training. When I transitioned from a revolver over to a semi-auto. The thing that we trained on was overhand racking. So the overhand racking is what I'm used to doing. So I rarely ever use the slide release. So this would not be a problem for me, but it's a problem for other shooters. Other shooters like to use that slide release. I'm old school. I do it the other way. Another problem with racking is when you have your hand overhand, and like I said, this has the ability to have the safety on. You can do something like this, and I think I've been off camera, but I'm sorry. You can jam that thumb into the safety. That it can be a big problem when you are doing that. So if you want to do that, so you might have to do this. Some people have complained about the overhand racking. It's something that you're going to have to work out, see what you like better. And I can't tell you how to deal with that. It's up to your training and so forth. The other thing is I like the single action trigger. It has one of the short reset trigger, but you have that take up there, pull the trigger, and it's a nice, clean, crisp trigger. I don't have a trigger gauge, so I'm estimating maybe three and a half to 4.5. I don't have a trigger gauge, so here is the reset, and it's still coming out, and then you hear that click. All right, let's do this the same thing on the 229. There's that take up, squeeze, goes off, and then out, and it's a short reset. Yeah, you might have seen in the video real close up. If you slow it down, there's a little bit of with the creep. There's a little bit of mush, but then it breaks cleanly. One of the other things I'm going to say as far as the shooting experience, and I'm sorry I didn't get a shooting video out, but I'm hoping to get one out soon, shooting these side by side. I think one of the other issues that I see, I wouldn't say an issue. I think when shooting these firearms are extremely accurate. You can really get some nice groups in. Really nice groups in, tight groups. And especially for this firearm, which is a, like I said, a 3-point, I believe it was barrel length. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. 3.9-inch barrel. Now, I'm going to show you one of the reasons why I like the way they did the Legion version is I'm a big fan of the CZs. And if you look, this is my CZ SP01. This is customized through Cajun Gunworks. But this is the original frame right here. You have that back strapping here, and it doesn't have much of a what you would call underneath the trigger cut. But when I grab both of these, take that magazine out, show clear, so nobody gets upset on YouTube. There you go, it's clear. All right, so I changed this into a single action only. But look at the profile of how both of these firearms are, especially when you look towards the back strap. So when I grab a CZ, let's face it, the CZ's got the best ergos. But when they changed this to an SAO version or the Legion version, it is similar to the CZ, but it's not quite there. But it's just good enough. To give you another case in point, here's my CZ P01 that's also Cajunized. And I'm gonna show clear on this one. YouTube gods. Now this is double action, single action, but if you notice the way the contours right here in the front, this doesn't have the front strap checkering, but look at the ergos in comparison to these two. It's a little girthier. It is thinner than this one, but it's a little girthier, like I said, to get those extra rounds in. So when I grab both of these firearms, and both of these firearms have been compared a lot by other YouTubers, but when I grab this firearm, of course, it's the better ergos, but this feels thicker. And the point I'm trying to make with both the Legion is the Legion gives you that ergo that you will want in a shooting firearm. So I hope this satisfies Mr. Stephen Ehrlich about the comparison with these firearms. Both are great shooters. You're not going to feel like you're handicapped. This is for basically like duty, range, home defense. This one can do, let's say, home defense if you need to for somebody with smaller hands. But this is also going to be a great concealed carry firearm since it's about the size of a Glock 19. So with that said, I want to cut this real short. It's up to you on which one that you like, and I hope this answered Mr. Ehrlich's question. With that said, hopefully I'll get a shooting video in soon. But happy shooting, stay safe, #2A.